Three things you want to pay particular attention to if you interview or if you prep your interviews using AI. Okay, the first one would be is with respect to your attention span. Okay, so for example, let's say you prepare your tell me about yourself. And it usually goes like this for a candidate preparing it using AI. You provide the AI your CV, maybe the job description, and then you would request them, hey, you know what, do me my elevator pitch. And then you would spend time asking for feedback from AI and eventually making small adjustments, right? So your focus, your attention span on actually building your tell me about yourself would be quite small, okay? Because you will actually delegate the AI to do the work for you. This is when compared to the traditional way, so to speak, where you would write down, your key ideas of your tell me about yourself. You would spend 30 minutes straight to find the best possible version, right? So long story short, your attention span, if you're using AI to build your answers, is very small. And what basically means is that the result will be superficial. So if you'd like to improve your attention span for the purpose of preparing answers or preparing your job interview, you would want to transition from the digital medium of AI and the reactive approach, and even consider using pen and paper. Okay, so if you want to increase your attention span going into job interviews, try to use pen and paper, because this is what works best. Okay, the second thing that I'd like to share with you here would be with respect to critical thinking. So basically what happens if you prepare a job interview using AI, you will get into a conversation, right, with the AI. Hey, AI, what is the best employment of my time going into job interview? Hey, what is the best way to answer this interview question? Hey, AI, what do you think about my interview answer, right? So then you would have an exchange with the AI, and in my experience, you can convince the AI that what you say is right, even if what you say doesn't make much sense, right? So long story short, you can bias the AI as you want, because AI wants to please you, because they want to keep you in that feedback loop, okay? And therefore, your critical thinking skills will not be the most appropriate going into job interviews, let alone the backbone test and these sort of examples, okay? So my recommendation for you, if you want to build critical thinking and still use AI for the job interviews, would be to focus on using AI at what works. For example, AI can be extremely efficient in predicting the types of questions you might get asked for the purpose of a job interview, to build some practice lists, So, or another employment of AI would be, what Google is doing right now to basically gather intel for your upcoming job interview, or even, to ask them once for feedback on your answers, right? So not get into a conversation where your critical thinking might suffer because you bias the AI however you want, but get one feedback, and then, you get back to work and, ideally focus on your attention span to improve, to work on what actually matters, right? And the third thing I'd like to share with you is that very few candidates know that AI shows during job interviews. And in fact, most of the time, people find out that their AI rewarded answers don't sound as they expected during a job interview, right? So basically, many candidates also underestimate the trust factor in job interviews. Trust is already low to begin with, right? Interviewers don't trust candidates. This is nothing new, but when you go with the AI rewarded answers, trust will even become lower. They will become even more skeptical about this, right? So this would be basically the idea that AI shows in job interviews, and in order to avoid, these kind of surprises with, basically what you didn't expect it to show, would be to role play your answers prior to your job interview. Do a role play session with someone and see how that works, because you'll be impressed how different your answers will sound and how you would expect them to, right? Or there's another scenario where there's software, there's AI that records your interview and provides you with feedback on exactly what to say word for word during job interviews. And it was actually recommended to me by some candidates. And you can do a role play, a mock session to see, hey, would this work in my situation for my upcoming job interview? Because the marketing pitch, so to speak, is there. But long story short, if you prepare using AI, a role play before going into job interview to see how it works, whether if that's something that works for you. So these are my 3 scenarios. I hope you found them useful, and thank you very much for watching.